Hello and welcome. This will be a reading for Virgo. Welcome to the table, Virgo. I have pre-shuffled the cards, but I will shuffle them again for you. I'll be using a 10-card spread with 5 cards along the top row and 5 cards along the bottom row. I'll be talking about each one of those cards and then overlaying them with a second deck of cards and discussing those cards as well. The flowers are from my garden and the crystals have been in their salt bath. I do hope you enjoy them as much as I do. One more and off we go. Okay, first card out. 7 of Wands in reverse. 9 of Cups in the upright position. 4 of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. 8 of Cups. In the bottom row, 9 of Swords in reverse. The World in reverse. 3 of Cups in reverse. 4 of Cups in the upright position. And the Devil in the reverse position. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, I'll show you first. We have the 2 of Cups in reverse. Okay. I've got the 7 of Wands as the first card out. So, perhaps feeling a bit of a disconnect from your family and your friends. It's important that you keep connected. So there's this sense of perhaps being a little bit disconnected and perhaps also being a little bit defensive, and therefore people perhaps are misinterpreting your behaviour, misinterpreting what you intend to say. That can be the case if you are defensive and feel vulnerable, and sometimes just feeling vulnerable makes us defensive. You've got the 9 of Cups, so things that you're wishing for, looks like they're coming in, so it looks like there's going to be quite a lot of contentment and happiness coming your way. So that is wonderful energy. We have the 4 of Cups. Now this is a little bit of a warning for those of you who are holding on to your finances and being a little bit rigid in your thinking about there not being sufficient funds. Now, the cosmos allows for the flow of things to come in and the things to go out. So if you're holding on a little bit tightly, perhaps you need to take a little bit of a step back, be a little bit more carefree, allow that money to flow a little bit better. It'll allow some more to come in your way. I know that that's a sort of a concept, particularly in the Western world, that's a little bit hard to grasp, that the things do flow, but if you don't spend any money, it doesn't encourage the flow elsewhere. So do loosen up a little bit with your money. Here we've got the Ace of Wands. Some renewed passion and some renewed enthusiasm. A little bit of creative energy coming your way. Again, this means that the opportunity is there and that the cosmos is opening that for you, but you need to take control of that as well. You need to grab hold of those opportunities. You need to expand yourself, allow yourself to grasp hold of this wand and do something with it. It's like having a tool but not using it. So you do need to grab hold of that wand and start creating. Here we've got the 8 of Cups. This is a little bit of emotional energy here for you. As you can see, they're all overflowing. You need to look at what's in those cups. Are you looking at some past experience or refusing to look at past experiences? Sometimes these pools are so large you don't want to look into them, and sometimes you don't always like what you see. Sometimes you are reflected back in the pools and you don't necessarily like what you see. But the 8 of Cups traditionally would be walking away from something, but here I'm getting the sense of maybe you've got a little bit of time to just reflect on things that have happened up until now, and look at all your experiences and see how you feel about all of those things. What more do you want from life, and what have you enjoyed in the things that have gone past? Here's a 9 of Swords in reverse. So this is sleepless nights and anxiety and worries, but it looks like that's not applicable to you because it's in the reverse position. So it looks like you're sleeping well and look like you're putting any anxieties and fears and worries behind you. So that's rather nice, because if you've had this defensiveness, any defensive behaviour comes from fear. So it's possible that you're letting go of that aspect of your life at the moment, which is very, very good, because without that defensiveness and without the fear, then you can actually be more open to the things that are coming your way. Here is the world. It's in reverse. So the world is more or less having everything, stepping out joyously into a perfect situation. Something that you have created yourself, something that the cosmos has allowed for you. It's kind of the end of a cycle. It's in the reverse, so perhaps you aren't quite brave enough to step into your new world, and that could be the case in this situation. So if you look at it like that, that gives you a better indication as well. And again, this is a need to be centered. As you can see, the star is right there at the center of the core, and the moon as well, the sun and the moon in total balance. So when you find that total balance within yourself, then you can step out into the new world, because I do feel that everything is changing. So it won't be long now before you're able to just take one step back and then try again and move forward. Here we've got the Three of Cups. Again in the reverse position. So perhaps not having sufficient fun and not spending enough time with your friends, and that can happen, particularly if you are defensive. Once you become defensive, you become disconnected from people, and people don't necessarily want to spend time with you. So it's very, very important that you don't look at the world with fear in the back of your mind. You need to just accept what comes. And here is the Nine of Cups. This is allowing the flow and being confident that things will come your way that will make you happy. So there's probably no need to fear. Sometimes fear is just an illusion. And by watching too much of the news, for example, and that's what I feel also with this card, the World in reverse, watching too much of a global news situation can put you in a fearful state. And that is particularly true at the moment, because there doesn't seem to be much happiness in the news. It feels like all the worst aspects of human nature are being brought to the fore. So if you watch too much of the news, too much engagement with the electronic media, for example, then you forget to look at the beauty all around you. Four of Cups, a little bit despondent. Again, this disconnect, needing to be on your own. Obviously understanding that the world is a beautiful place here at the beach, but you're disengaged emotionally from other people. So you may see the beauty of the world, but you may not feel connected to people very much. And here is the Devil, again in reverse. So we'll look at it in the reverse aspect. And in this situation, I'm feeling very much that the darkness is pulling you down. Okay, so any aspects of the world that you feel are very dark, I think they're having a negative effect on you. So let's put it that way. Here I think you're wishing for a loving connection, but you feel that there is no loving connection, or perhaps the connection you have isn't deep enough and it's not satisfying you emotionally, because this is a total immersion. As you can see by the flowers, the size of the flowers here is indicated that you have a very romantic view of love, and perhaps you're not feeling any satisfaction in that area of your life. Let's clarify these cards and see if we can get some more enlightenment from the cards, because it does look like you're not seeing the best in life and not getting the best emotional connection from people around you. So that would be nice if you could change that somehow. Okay, we've got the Empress in reverse. Got the Nine of Wands. Ten of Swords, Seven of Swords, King of Swords in reverse, Three of Wands in reverse, King of Cups in the upright position, Four of Wands in the upright position, Eight of Cups in the upright position. So you've got the Eight of Cups twice, both in the upright position, and the Eight of Pentacles. I'll show you what's on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so the Four of Swords. So the Empress is normally fertile, loving and creative, very abundant. This is a divine feminine aspect, so it's in the reverse position. So it's possible that you are feeling that abundance is not possible for you at the moment. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but this fertility and this creativity, she represents fertility and creativity, and as you can see, she's ready to manifest a birth in the world. So it feels like somehow you don't feel capable, or you don't feel assured that that's possible at the moment. And that could be just an illusion, the sense that you feel that it's not possible for that to happen. Feeling a little bit battered and bruised. Maybe you've had some difficult times. Maybe it's been a bit of a struggle to get where you are today. And it looks here like you're very tired. You've only got a little way to go to get over this feeling. So again, it's on top of the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is telling you that the happiness is not far away. So even though you're feeling battered and bruised, and perhaps it feels that obstacles have been put in your way, it feels like maybe you've jumped too many hurdles, and it feels like you're not feeling very assured that there will be a victory. But sometimes there is just a long road of hurdles, and we need to jump. Ten of Swords. Well, this card more or less says it all. Feeling hurt, betrayed, sharp words. It's over though. This is the Ten of Swords, so that means that it's over. And it could be that your words haven't made the kind of impact you wanted them to make. And in response, you've received other words back that perhaps felt piercing and hurtful. But it's on top of the Four of Pentacles. So it's talking about rigidity here. So a sense of being perhaps too rigid in your thoughts that is holding you back. And that's what I'm thinking here. Maybe your thoughts and even your thought processes may be a little bit too rigid too, maybe a little bit too inflexible, that your thought processes are dictating that what went before is what will go again. That's not necessarily the case. So maybe you're hanging on to a thought process, or even thought processes that you've been taught as a child that don't necessarily hold sway today. Okay, here he's gathering up the swords. And I suggest that this one is gathering up the swords that no longer serve any purpose. Let's get rid of those, throw those out, and look at the two swords that are left standing behind. It's no good holding these thoughts tight and close to you, because they're not serving you anymore. Only the ones that are going to be new and useful to you are the ones worth carrying forward into the rest of your life. Here we've got the King of Swords in reverse. So it does feel, this is actually quite a powerful card. This is somebody who has command of their language and their thoughts. So again, it's telling me this feeling of your thoughts are overwhelming you, and your thoughts are in a negative aspect that perhaps you're not. It feels like your thoughts or the things that you're hoping for aren't coming forward, that they're stuck, that they're buried. That for some reason you're not able either to express yourself to get what you want, or it's just that your thoughts are holding you back, and maybe it's just not the time to release something, and maybe you are hoping for a release from the swords, from the mental, because clearly there's a lot of mental activity going on here. You've got a lot of swords. You've got the Three of Wands, so this is collaboration. And again, it's in the reverse aspect. And there's this turmoil in the waves, as you can see. And the boats are being tossed around. So perhaps you feel like there's a bit of turmoil around you. You've got an awful lot of swords on the table. And I suggest that that turmoil is coming more from a mental aspect. And I think that's because the mental aspect is a little bit rigid. And that could well be thoughts and mental processes that have been instilled into you as a child. Perhaps you need to find some independence of thought. You know, this king here is independent. He will make his decisions by himself. So perhaps you need to step aside from the thoughts that you've used in the past and create your own thoughts. Here's the King of Cups. This King of Cups is emotionally strong and stable and loving and generous. And he's riding out the storm on the buoy. It is rocking with the waves. Not much puts this person off. He goes with the flow emotionally. So there's that strong emotional loving energy, which is here with the fish as well. So it's under the Nine of Cups. So this is telling me that your heart is a big and expansive heart. You're very much open to love, very much wanting to love. Here's the Four of Wands. You want stability in your life. You want happiness. You want that commitment. Again, it's underneath the Four of Pentacles. So again, there's this very much this sort of traditional structure around you. You want things to be secure and loving and kind and generous. But again, I think you have worries and anxieties about that. So you've got to be careful that your worries and anxieties doesn't box you in mentally. Again, the Eight of Cups, and as you can see in this case, he's like, well, all of that's behind me. All of those emotions are behind me. These are all past experiences. I'm walking away. I'm looking for something new. And this person actually is walking out of this town, but he's walking under the light of the moon. So the problem is with walking away, of course, is that it still comes with you. It's talking about running away from your difficulties or not facing up to the things that you need to look at. And, you know, it looks like here that you don't really want to look at any emotional difficulties. But they still come with you no matter what. And the problem is, of course, eventually you become disconnected because you're refusing to look at your emotional history, things from the past. It's no good walking away from it because it will follow you anyway, because you will recreate the same behavior in the next part of your life or in the next town. Here's the Eight of Pentacles. So this is security, double security. It looks like you were very concerned about your finances and your stability here with the Four of Pentacles. It looks like double security is here. So it looks like you do have sufficient funds. I think you can afford to be a little bit joyous with your funds and not lock yourself back so hard. So and it's on top of this Devil card. So I do suggest that perhaps part of the problem of not feeling bountiful or not feeling very happy is perhaps this rigidity in the mind of hanging on too tightly to the finances and not allowing yourself to be a little bit more free with your finances or your expression in the world. So again, here you've got this Four of Swords here, and this is often a card of rest and being comfortable in yourself and just allowing things to flow around you, not being concerned in the night. So there would be no nightmares here because this is the Nightmare card. But this one is saying that there are no nightmares. You've put your swords down. You're just having a nice period of rest. But don't box yourself in with your thoughts. Whatever you do, be careful that you don't allow your thoughts to limit your experiences in the world and limit your opportunities, because you do have the Ace of Wands here. So The Ace of Wands is telling me that you can be as creative as you want to be. Don't allow your thoughts to limit you. Just because you see other people doing things doesn't mean you can't do it either. You need to grab hold of this wand here. It's a light. You need to carry that. You need to carry that forward and connect with other people perhaps that are interested in the same thing as you, so that you don't feel like you've been cheated in life. You don't want to be cheated in life either. So it's very important that, I think, Virgo, here, that these cards are telling me that I think you're kind of your own worst enemy. You're holding yourself back. And I do think if you want this loving expression here of the Two of Cups, if you want this loving romantic relationship, I think you need to allow your thoughts, and perhaps you need to release your words. You know, here the King of Swords here is holding a flower as well as the sword. Perhaps you're not expressing yourself well, and perhaps the person that you care for doesn't know that you care for them. You may assume they know, but perhaps they would like to hear the words. So do release yourself a little bit. You know, don't allow your thoughts to stay inside your head. You do need to let them out. You do need to express yourself and be a little bit more confident. I'm going to leave it there, Virgo. I do hope you've enjoyed the reading. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.